Welcome, everyone. My name is Stephen Goldberg of Optimus Performance, bringing you practical tips and ideas on leadership, team development, and employee performance in the workplace. And I'm really pleased to have a special guest with me, Jeff Giagnocavo. Did I pronounce that right, Jeff?
It was a very good attempt. Giagnocavo.
Say it again.
Jeff Giagnocavo.
Giagnocavo. Thank you.
Yeah.
I should have clarified that before I hit the record
It's all right. It's my mistake. I should have on my contact site right at the top, I have it spelled phonetically, and I should update my bio that you have there to include it. So that's my fault.
So what is your background nationality? It sounds Italian. Are you Italian? Or?
It is Italian and really sound only. Our family's got a real interesting story. Maybe we can dig into that at the end, or if we want, we can now. I can keep it under a minute, but it's I'm Italian light, as I like to say.
Okay. Just
Yeah.
elaborate on that because I love these background stories.
So the real quick story, my great grandfather immigrated with my grandfather, 10 children. He wanted to be a single bachelor in America, had my great grandmother committed to the asylum because in the Catholic Church, infidelity or insanity is the only way you get a divorce. Orphans off my grandfather and his siblings. We lose our heritage. He loses connection to his family. My grandfather becomes a real interesting cat and ends up marrying, because he was orphaned into Quakertown, Pennsylvania, ends up marrying a Mennonite lady. And, our heritage kind of became real interesting at that point, our cultures and traditions. But learned a lot from my grandfather, just kind of witnessing what he did. And he was a cool individual. Our family, you can be grateful for every day you pour your laundry detergent out, because my grandfather was the guy that invented the pour spout in your plastic laundry detergent bottle. And if he wasn't so darn stubborn, I wouldn't be here today. I'd be a trust fund kid in some yacht in Belize right now. Because
so you had to work for a living.
That's right. That invention got taken away. Yeah. Or stolen, but it was his own stubbornness that led to that. And so one of those things that I'm big on is about personal accountability, which leads us back to, hey, next time in my bio, I got to update my name so I can help folks like you, great folks like you, say it phonetically, because it ain't like Smith.
Right. Now, in your short bio, we'll just discuss that a bit. You started your own mattress store called Gardner's Mattress and More, which is the premier better sleep store in your region. You're fanatical about 5-star experience, and you've garnered thousands of 5-star reviews, and that's really important if you have a retail store today, or actually any business. And you wrote a book called Sleep Better.
That's right.
Which helps thousands of people wake up happy too. I like that. Sleep is so important for performance. Yep. So Jeff has licensed his own custom software and educational marketing materials to others in his industry and other industries as well. Jeff's marketing skills and knowledge are regularly featured and acknowledged online in books and in magazines. So how did you go from being a small business owner to being someone that I guess is a consultant, or how do you describe yourself in terms of the work you do with other businesses?
Yeah, it's funny you say that word consultant, because this weekend I pretty much had the epiphany, or you could say the tap out on describing what I do. I am that consultant, but more so I'm that fractional chief visionary officer that brings great ideas to operator and integrator led good businesses to take them to great and grow them, 200-300% in the next 5 years. Because that's what I've done, and I'm not a consultant because I failed in 3 other businesses and I got to go make it rain now in some way. Failure for me is not one of those things I like. So I've not tasted it all that often on the grand scheme of things. Sure, I failed, and I look to actually fail faster with most ideas. That's the goal, to get to the really great idea or the end line and win the game, win the battle. But Yeah, I'm a consultant. That's what I do. In my retail business, I'm only in that business about 12 hours a week across 2 different days. One of those days is a requirement because we do a really cool podcast show. I love the podcasting medium. As a business and as a consultant, it's a way to build my own brand, and it's a way to connect with my community I serve in the store. So Mondays I have to be there because we live stream it. So that's my anchor day. And then typically Thursdays is my other day to go spend time with my team and pour into them and make sure I'm helping them succeed with us as best as possible. But I always look to be involved in a business where I'm in the sole seat of making good decisions. And to me, that's the ultimate goal for a business owner, is to always spend your day making good decisions for your business. If you're stuck doing the thing, handling the drama, having to constantly coach people up, there's something broken and it needs fixed. Pushing yourself into the good decision seat is great. That then unlocks what I like to call the investor seat.
Okay. So you've successfully transitioned from working in your business every day to working on your business, have other people, I guess you've implemented systems, and processes that has allowed you to free yourself from the day-to-day and have other people make the right decisions so you can do other things. And who do you typically work with on the consulting side to help teach them or counsel them on what you've successfully implemented in your own business?
Yeah, I mean, for me, those consulting relationships, and we're on camera, so if you happen to catch this video, I'm holding 2 hands up. Like, my consulting relationships are carried within these 2 hands. I do not have quantity, I have deep quality, because I look for great businesses that are well run to where we can have impact for each other. And these relationships for me, I've got 2 boys, 15 and 19. My hope would be the day they decide to get married, I can invite my clients to that wedding. And I would hope the same for them, to invite me and my wife to their child's wedding. That's the kind of relationship that I look for. So the businesses are typically, a higher ticket sale with a low frequency of purchase, because those kinds of businesses afford you a lot of dollars for marketing, a lot of dollars for customer experience. There's a lot of time gestation between interest to purchase. So there's a lot that we can do to backfill the idea. If it's just a restaurant, and that's not, I didn't mean to insult restaurant owners by saying just a restaurant. There's a lot of people that are very wealthy doing restaurants, and they're great businesses. But the restaurant game, that kind of low ticket, quick frequency, repeated frequency type business is very different, because you got to win each and every single transaction. You're only good as your last pizza, so to say. Whereas with the bigger ticket, low frequency of purchase, like a home remodel, like a mattress, like buying a motorcycle or a boat as a fun toy and a reward for yourself, those are things you do handful of times in your life at best. And that affords just so much opportunity to do a lot of really cool and fun things in the business and create separation between you and your competition. And those are the things that I get really excited about bringing to that business owner who's just kind of, they're incestuous. They stick within their own crowd. They go to the HVAC event. They go to the deck builders event, and they're just they're stuck in this lane with the blinders on. And I bring in these different ideas for marketing, for process, for experience that ups their reputation, ups their authority, but most importantly, ups their margin so they can be a more profitable business.
Who doesn't want that? So tell me what typically is the problem that these businesses face, or on their side, how do they see their problems, and for, that they come to you to seek assistance with, to solve them? What are the problems that they're facing, or that they perceive in their business development?
Yeah, great question. I think the number one problem is they've got those blinders on, not through fault of their own, there is no college of entrepreneurship, right? There's the school of hard knocks, as people say sometimes in their bios. And that's true. The number one problem is they listen to the noise around them, whether that's a business partner, a spouse, their employees, their peers in the industry, their partners and service providers and vendors saying, well, you can't do that. That won't work. That's not what our industry does. And to me, my personality, which I get from my grandfather, I believe that's been passed down to his sons, my father, my uncles, is, a fiber of the Giagnocavo DNA is we put our nose across the line and we say, tell us we can't. Tell us no. Say no one more time. And we're going to go and prove you wrong and do it in just a fantastic fashion and flair. One of my uncles is a really great tech guy. If you dial 911 today through an internet connected telephone, hardwired, that is my uncle and my cousin, his son's software that they developed, created, and sold. And so we don't choose to hear the word no. We don't choose to hear the words, you can't do that. And that's the biggest problem I think a lot of business owners have is they look up to their peers and their partners and they value what their team says to them. And that's all of that should be true and can be true. And at the same time, you can also question it and you can say, what more could I do? What could I do differently? And so is it all right if we talk? I can give a real tactical tip on how we're selling, on how my sales team in the retail stores sells a real commodity device and makes it interesting.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, the mattresses, right? Anybody listening, watching this, you can buy a mattress now on your phone in a couple of clicks. If you've got the Costco, Sam's Club, Amazon app, and the Walmart app, you've got 4 people in your pocket sending you notifications on any given day that you can buy what I sell at a cheap price, quick to your door, quicker than I can get it to you, with thousands and thousands of reviews, which, is a whole other discussion of how good they are or not. So that's what we're up against. We require our customers to get in their car, get dressed, leave home, drive across town, risk life and limb driving a car today, make a difficult left turn or a right turn into our parking lot. If you Google 830 Plaza Boulevard, Lancaster, PA, you'll see it's not easy on the map. But that's intentionality of our customers, our potential customers coming in our front door. So we respect that time. And we also put a lot of time into how people find us. You talked about my book, Sleep Better. I'm holding it up on video right now. This is a book that exchanges the most valuable commodity we all have, and that's time. It exchanges our customers and prospects time with us. And the more they pour into us, the more likely they are to be a customer. And so when they walk in our door, the first thing we ask is, so tell me, were you referred or did you see our reviews? Because if we give them a choice of 3 options, it becomes a little more difficult conversation. If they say they were referred, fantastic. We have a whole path that we follow down there because we want to know who that was. We want to know, was that a price-led customer? Was that a Sleep Better-led customer? We unlock that information as we go through our diagnostic conversation. If they read our reviews, we ask, what was your favorite review? What did you like about our reviews? What theme stuck out? Tell me. Listening, a lot less talking on our part. And then here's the tip everybody can do. Remove the prospect away from the immediate thing. So we ask, tell me, our number one job here is to sit down, have a conversation, see how your sleep needs fit our solutions. We want to see if we're a fit. And sometimes we're not a fit for all of our customers that come into our store. So all we want to do right now is just sit down, have a conversation. Would you join us in our lounge? And we'll get started. And so what we do is we remove the presentation away from the product. And that conversation then frames the entire prescription of fit that my team can recommend. There's about 35 questions that we cover, and my guys do it by heart. They each put their own little twist and personality on top of it. We watch the guideposts. They fill in between. We allow them that leverage, right? We're not cracking the whip like a hardcore sales manager. You must say these words at these times. No, we cover the benchmarks, the guideposts. So tell me why you're here. Tell me how you got here. Would you be open to having a conversation about how our solutions fit your needs? Craft the prescription, the recommendation of fit, and then go present. And really what you're doing when you follow that is, in 2023, with the amount of information out there, you're affirming your prospect and customers in the right place. Because look, there's so much information out there, and a lot of it's actually pretty good. So you can't fight information. You have to be able to organize and sort it for your customer. That's why they're in front of you. Because look, there's an online option for everything. You can get your teeth fixed on Amazon right now. You can get your ears fixed with hearing aids on Amazon right now. Okay. And with technology, it's only going to get more and more like that. Right. So if you choose to fight it, you're in a hard way. But if you choose to be in a position of affirmation where you help and organize and stack all this information for your people, you can really separate and create a lot of differentiation and have a lot of wins on the sales column for yourself.
So what it sounds like you're doing with your team, you're focusing on the sales, obviously, and teaching them to take a consultative approach in selling by finding out what are the concerns or the needs of the client in terms of gaining a better sleep, and then matching those needs to a proper mattress or solution. And thus you're building, through that conversation, a relationship and trust, so that the people will rely on your recommendation rather than going and searching for online solutions that describe the benefits or the features of the mattress. Is that how you see it? Did I describe that well?
100%. Yeah, it's all that consultation. It's really what we do. And a lot of folks in the mattress industry, they get cute with the word expert and consultant and sleep technician and any derivative thereof. Some go as far as to put on the medical scrubs and the white jackets like doctor's coats. I want a lot of substance. My guys walk around in khakis or nice dress jeans and a polo shirt. You go into some stores, it looks like you're either at church or a funeral with somebody in a suit and tie across from you. We meet our people where they are. And we make this a comfortable, welcoming, consultative experience. Our number one goal is not just to get 5-star reviews. My number one goal is to change the way people feel about mattress stores while helping them wake up, be more happy, be productive in their day, so they don't go and yell at their kids before they go off to school. And then they have a bad day, and then it just gets worse from there.
So you're not
my
just,
goal.
Yeah,
My
you're
goal
not just
is
selling a mattress, you're selling well-being and happiness is really your perspective with your team.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm somebody that struggled with sleep for years from a motorcycle accident. And when I got my first Split King Tempur-Pedic adjustable bed set, it unlocked something I never knew I was missing. And that was deep restorative sleep that let my body finally heal after nearly 7 years of surgeries and pain pills and doctor's visits and MRIs and x-rays. It was sleep that unlocked all of that. So that's powerful. And we tell those stories. Each of my team has those stories. And our goal ultimately, yeah, we want to help you wake up happy. We want you to sleep better, be more productive. But really, when it comes to buying something for your house, around your house, on your house, or in it, I want to be the very best experience you've had.
So when you work with other business owners, is it typically helping them with their sales to grow the business through sales, or do you touch on other components of the business as well?
Yeah, so for me, I can do sales. I'm not a sales trainer. I can do processes. I like to say, there's all kinds of different personality scorings out there. I use the words visionary and integrator or operator a lot. So I'm the idea guy, but I'm empathetic to the fact that processes and systems need to happen and rubber needs to meet the road. And so what I bring in is a challenge. I bring in the fact that I'm an ally to the business owner. I'm that person that's going to, drown out that noise and put in good noise and good opportunity into their brain. And yes, all of that needs to happen. We have to have the process. We have to have the systems. But the number one thing I bring is we create assets. We create assets in the business, because a business where the owner is the bullet catcher, as I like to say, if your business falls apart because you're on vacation, if you budget your 2 weeks of vacation for 2 weeks of down revenue, which people do that. I have a peer in my industry right now who's on a road trip with his family, and he had no choice but to budget poor sales because the people back at the ranch just don't sell as well as he does. Okay. That's not a business. You've got a high paying job. And so I look to bring assets in, like our Sleep Better book. That's a marketing asset that is leveraged in so many different ways. It's an online lead generation tool. It's something to put in the mail, direct mail. It's a handout and referral tool. We've brought this book to life through Sleep Better seminars at a premium athletic club that we do monthly to generate business. So I bring in the idea of creating marketing assets, and maybe that's developing a proper sales process. Maybe that's developing a new welcome customer campaign. When my folks leave us having spent 5, 8, 10, 12 grand, we love on them. We have a whole new customer campaign. They leave with about $80 worth of Yeti custom logo drinkware. There's gifts in the mail that show up. And what do you think that does for referrals? Through the roof. So I bring in those assets. Like I said earlier, I look to bring in cool things and that experiential approach into that long gestation period between being a lead to a prospect to a customer to a raving fan. And when you build assets in your business, you now have, if you think about Shark Tank, one of the first things they ask is this protected? Is it copyrighted? Is it trademarked? Is it patented? Is it intellectual property? Now, not every business has that opportunity, but they can create an asset for themselves that's repeatable and scalable. And that's what I bring into a business.
So your Sleep Better book, who is it directed towards? And
the ultimate end user, the consumer.
Oh, it's a consumer book. Okay.
Yep.
So
but
it's kind of an educational book about buying a mattress, or
exactly. Yeah. So it's all about it's chock full of sleep tips, sleep routines, sleep habits, how to buy a mattress, why to buy local. But then I've also licensed, as you said in my intro, I've licensed this book and then the whole package. There's some other helpful guides that are tactical tips about certain parts of the process, certain things that you might find in a mattress store or be interested in as a customer. So I licensed that whole package back to other retailers because I created an asset, and my industry saw that asset as valuable. And I said, well, would you like it? And so I created a package where I can license them. And now they're the author. They're the expert in their market, which is why you won't find Sleep Better on Amazon, because it'd be kind of weird to have me in Lancaster, Pennsylvania be the author of Sleep Better, and the same guy in North Dakota named Rob be an author, and the same guy in Naples, Florida, Jerry, be an author, and the same guy Pablo in San Diego be an author. And those are all customers of mine, licensees of mine. But locally, they're 5 Mile famous because they're that expert authority, and they have staked a claim in a new position. They're the expert for mattresses in their market. And that's where I would say, for your audience, you've got to stake that claim, and it's easier than you think. Just go do it.
When you're speaking about these things, you mentioned restaurants, but what popped into my mind was Dunkin' Donuts, because you're talking really about the client relationship. And, I'm in Canada, and when I go to the States, I always go to Dunkin' Donuts because I like their coffee. And Dunkin' Donuts failed in Canada. And I remember the whole downfall of Dunkin' Donuts. I observed it. It was a master franchise here that had it, and they just let it go. And you'd walk into a Dunkin' Donuts and the service was horrible. The attitude of the employees. And I predicted that they would fail and be out of Canada. And sure enough, here, Tim Hortons and Starbucks took over the market, and you won't find a Dunkin' Donuts in Canada anymore, but they're all over in the States. So how you train your staff to interact with clients, especially today, with the reviews and the experience that people can or cannot have is really crucial. And I think what you've done is taken that to the highest level possible and built a sustainable business that each person that interfaces with the client can probably understands really well the values and the process for engaging with clients successfully, and now can do that on their own without you having to be there to supervise. So
Yep.
I think this is something that every small business or every business should learn how to master and implement well. Having said that, you have that book, which I guess is a resource. Do you have any kind of introductory materials that people can access on your website? Or
I do. Yeah. I mean, the easiest place to go, I'm happy to have you request your Sleep Better book. We unfortunately do not ship out of, we only ship in the United States. If you connect with me, reach out to me, private message me. I'm going to give you how to do that in a second. I'll send you a copy just as my gift to Stephen's listeners, your listeners, Stephen. I'll be happy to do that in a one-off manner as gratitude for giving me this opportunity today on your show. But if you go to thejeffg.com, so you don't have to say Giagnocavo or spell it or type
I'll
it.
put a link in the description of this video and the show notes.
Yeah, just go to thejeffg.com, and it's kind of choose your own adventure. You might have heard something that you connected with more than others today. If you just want to connect on social, you can do that. Send me a personal message, because each channel I have certain parameters that I accept friend requests or not. So just say, hey, I heard you on Stephen's show, and that's the cheat code to get in. But there's a bunch of buttons on there in that resource you were asking about. So that's thejeffg.com. There's what I call that I think would be better for your audience. We had 20 minutes or 30 minutes today. The resource is my Main Street Masterclass, and it's free. I don't even ask for an opt-in. It's just something I did. I want to give it to you. My thought is, in that time you spend looking at that, you'll be wanting to connect with me deeper. So thejeffg.com, there's a button on there for my Main Street Masterclass. Check it out. It's yours. I hope you enjoy it.
Great. Final question. Is there anything I should have asked you that I didn't that you'd like to share?
Good question. I would say about the question I would ask would be how you get people pulling in the same direction as a sales manager, as an owner, as an entrepreneur.
Right.
So I'll answer that if that's all right.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. So the way that I've found best is you have to create ownership, and you create ownership by allowing people to take initiative. And then they take that initiative when you give them permission to fail. And you give them permission to fail by simply saying this: look, I want you to try those new ideas. And I don't care if they win or if they fail, doesn't matter. What I want you to do throughout the process is be able to explain why it won or why it lost, what worked and what didn't. This way, when the next one comes along, you can better stack your thoughts and organize them, and we get to a winning idea faster. So that's the only requirement I'm going to ask of you. I'm going to support you. We're going to invest money into your thought, into your idea, but you need to be able to explain why it worked or why it didn't. That's your only requirement. And when you follow that path, you get a team around you that really begins pulling in the same direction, because they're there for more than their paycheck. They're there to create impact in their own way. Now, some people want to create impact 9 to 5 only. Other people are all in. They have the email on their phone and will willingly answer it. It's your job to create that feeling of ownership and of impact. And
that's a great approach. I like that. I talk about that a lot in my videos about coaching people to take risks, take initiative. I mean, what's the downside of the fail? I mean, you have to measure that, or think about that. But generally, this is a great way to have people grow and be more engaged in their jobs. Great tip. Thank you for bringing that up. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for being a guest on the show. Some valuable information there, especially the message for business owners who want to grow their sales, but not have to do it on their own and have their team take charge. So that's great. I love that. So for anyone who wants to connect with Jeff or learn about his masterclass, check the links in the description of the video or the show notes for this podcast. Everyone, thank you for listening. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so now and turn on notifications so you get news of new videos. There's a whole playlist on guest interviews that you can check out as well. So thanks again, Jeff. Great meeting you here. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll talk again soon.